Hey everyone, welcome to the Curious Girl Diaries podcast. I'm Layla London, aka The Curious Girl. Now, just to let you know, this podcast is not suitable for work. It's also not suitable for anybody under 18. But the rest of you consenting adults, let's get ready to talk about my sex life, sex in general, and everything in between in explicit, raunchy, fun detail. All right, here we go. If you're just genuinely looking for NSA, and if you think that's realistically attainable, I gotta say, I really don't. I like a man that knows what he wants and goes for it. If you come after me, that gets my panties wet. I mean, men should be the fucking hunters, not the women. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Well, guess where we are? We're in bed together. Yep, sitting here with my coffee, my microphone, snuggled up. Wouldn't that be fun? You and me in bed. All right, so today, what I really want to focus on and what's just burning on my mind right now, I had a conversation about this last night with a friend of mine about NSA. And for those of you that don't know what NSA stands for, I didn't know either when I started doing all this, by the way, so don't feel bad. It's no strings attached. Now, I find in a lot of these online dating profiles, or when you're just talking to somebody and they say, well, what are you looking for? And you tell them and then they tell you, a lot of times, they'll use that term. They're looking for NSA. Well, I don't exactly know what the fuck that is or how you accomplish that. I've got to be honest with you. Is that realistic? Is that really, realistic? Oh my God, sorry. Somebody just sent me a really funny picture. Okay, back to business. When you are having sex with someone and spending a lot of time with them or a fair amount of time with them, or even just seeing them, a handful of times, if you do something with them outside of the bedroom, you're going to form a bond, some sort of bond. It doesn't have to be a strong one, but you're going to like that person. There's things that you enjoy about them. You find their personality pleasing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be spending time with them outside the bedroom. So, I guess my gripe today is I wish people would just get fucking real, because I've said, time and time again on this podcast that I genuinely like the guys that I choose to spend time with. And I don't just, as a general rule, now let me think about this. Is there anybody that I've just consistently just shown up, fucked, and left? No, it doesn't go that way. You may do that the first time, but typically, unless it's going to be a one-hit wonder, you'll go and have dinner first, you chat, there's talking in between about, how's your day? It's a mild, very light form of, and I'll just use this term generically because there's no other way to put it, but dating. It's a mild form of that. It's a version of that, some sort of hybrid offshoot. And I like it that way. I don't know. I mean, either you're just stone fucking cold, or some sort of psychopath if you don't, if you're just really genuinely looking for NSA. And if you think that's realistically attainable, I gotta say, I really don't. I don't believe it. I don't buy it. I mean, I think you can, again, like I said, there's just versions of that. So, maybe you're not being upfront. If you just want to sport fuck, if you just want to see somebody once, have a one-off, one night stands, things like that, just say it. That's fine. Nothing wrong with it. If that's what you want to do, that definitely could be absolutely like an NSA. But I mean, I think, you know what I think I might do? I'm going to change my profile, maybe. And I'll just put looking for SSA, some strings attached. And that, again, that doesn't mean that, that doesn't mean I give a shit who else you're seeing, or I'm going to be calling you and burning up your phone line and texting you and bugging the hell out of you. In fact, I get complaints to the latter that I don't initiate or reach out enough. And I don't, when I say initiate, please don't think that I'm referring to sex. No, I initiate sex plenty. Because I like sex, obviously. But this is about just straight up kind of day-to-day contact. And I let the guy set that pace. I really do. I'm way more comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable chasing a guy. It doesn't feel right to me. If I like you, you'll know it. There's other ways, that you'll get your ego stroked, and I'm very good with the compliments and things like that. And genuinely, when I mean them, of course, I'm not disingenuous, but I don't I cannot chase a guy. It doesn't suit me. It just doesn't suit me. Never has. And I've never, I think when you get used to that circumstance and you don't have to, that's what feels right. So, and it's not I don't want that to come off in a very, egocentric way. It's not about that at all. It's about my comfort level and also just how I kind of view male, female roles. I mean, I really kind of think the man should be the man. I mean, I know I've said that a lot. I pretty much, I'm old fashioned that way, I guess. I like a man that knows what he wants and goes for it. And believe me, if you come after me, oh, I notice. And that gets my panties wet. I mean, that is some nice foreplay for me right there. Just, sort of being hunted, if you will. I mean, men should be the fucking hunters, not the women. Hello. So that's my point of view on that. But back to the NSA stuff. I don't see how genuinely anybody pulls that off. I think people pretend to pull that off, or they say that that's what they want. But I don't know that it's, again, like I said, I don't know. I just don't see how it's possible. Please, somebody, hey, if you have a different perspective on this, I would love to hear it. And by the way, you can always, I always give out, I've got my email at the end of all the podcasts, the ways you can contact me. Go to the website, you can email me directly, find me on Tumblr, whatever. I love, if anybody wants to challenge what I say or has a different point of view, fantastic. Please enlighten me. I'm all for it. I mean, I'm totally up for the alternative point of view. Doesn't bother me a bit. And I'm quite fascinated by it and interested to know if guys are truly pulling this off, or females. I'm sorry, I don't mean to just address the men. If women are truly pulling that off, tell me how. I'd love to know. I mean, sex is a powerful thing. When you get sexual with somebody, and if it's good, like I said, unless don't have a heartbeat, I just don't know how you don't form something, and I mean, not to mention, I have met some amazing men that I can't believe they're single. I mean, I don't know. If females knew this, if there's like women out there that want men like this, for sure. Great in the sack, sensual, amazing bodies, treat you well, compliment you, and know how to treat a woman. I mean, and they're single. They're single. And I get to sleep with them. Or yeah, I mean, how lucky am I? And just, yeah, there's just some fantastic men out there. And so how could I not? I mean, I'm not stupid. I mean, how could I not have feelings for these guys? I do. And I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. And it ranges, the range of how, every guy's different. So, the level that you get to with them is different. I mean, some of this stuff is highly, highly just sexually charged. It will spin your brain and your mind, rock your world in a good way. Not in this needy, fanatical, frenzied kind of way, in just a holy shit. What an experience. Like, you have to keep going back to that well. I mean, you have to. The level that you're getting with them sexually it's just a whole nother realm to explore. And I'm into that. I mean, that's the whole reason I started doing this, is because I realized it's one area of my life, you go to the gym, you take care of your body, you eat right, you practice at keeping yourself healthy. You practice at being better in your business life. You're working on all these areas, just on yourself personally. But for some reason, we don't focus on our sex lives in the same way. For me, this whole sexual road trip project, if you will, is about cranking up the volume on my sex life, holding myself to the same standard and expectations that I do in my business life, and kind of making myself I don't know if this is a strange way to put it, but just like a sex CEO. I mean, a sexual superstar, somebody that's just totally in touch with their sexuality, how to go really deep with somebody, exploring all the angles, all the avenues, and all the facets about it that appeal to me. And it's one of the most pleasurable things we can do as human beings. And so why isn't there more emphasis on this? I don't know. And then so to come along and to read, how people are, focused on this NSA aspect, I'm like, why? Why would you do that? I mean, hire a fucking hooker then. Seriously, I'm no offense to hookers. Those women are professionals. They literally have made it a business, and they'll be as I believe they can be totally detached, because it's about the bottom line. It's about finances. So, you truly want that? Go to a fucking prostitute. There. Said it. You can tell I'm getting a little edgy about it. I don't like it when you come across somebody that's just kind of, full of bullshit. Because I think that whole NSA thing it's either a protective mechanism, or you got something to hide, or you're really just being unrealistic, and you aren't which tells me you're really not in touch with who you are, as a sexual being. And again, nothing wrong with that, but maybe reevaluate. Like, take a deeper look. It's okay to be honest about something. When I was doing this, it's very upfront with people. I want to see people that I like, that I enjoy spending time with, I genuinely care about, but I don't want to be somebody's girlfriend. Not looking for that. And that's, and I was really, really wanting to keep out the real intimate parts. But what I kind of discovered is, again, going back to what's realistic and what's unrealistic, through doing that, I realized I don't think that's, for me, I don't think it's really realistic. If I want to have more intimacy, then there is going to be, those points where you're going to have very strong feelings. And it either happens or it doesn't. That's something that's hard to put your finger on because there's so many things that go into that. So there's definitely people that, that's, of course, that won't happen with it. It just doesn't. You're not clicking on that level. You can't there's never the risk of you getting that deep with that person, but you still care about them. You still, enjoy them and genuinely like them. So again, I just feel like this, where does that put the whole NSA thing? But I know it's an interesting topic because I see, when I get all these messages from guys and I'm reading their profiles, and I tell you, when I see, like, when somebody reaches out and I see that, it's like, if I see it says, NSA, or sometimes guys put the stupidest things in their profiles, I got to tell you, I get urged to, like, tell them, I'm not interested, but by the way, you may want to correct your grammar, or you used your in the wrong version. It's YOU''RE, not YOUR. All these little things that I notice. By the way, grammar and good vocabularies are sexy. I'm just going to jump in here on a different subject while I'm just talking about some things that bug me. I mean, I may as well go for it, right? And I cannot stand the whole, how are you, the letter U, how the letter R, you. I mean, come on. Fucking A. Just write a complete sentence. What are you afraid of? Try it. Don't be scared. It's okay. Every time I get that shit, I'm like, this guy's like 27. The last time somebody was messaging me, I said, he's just going on, and I said, oh, he asked me how old I was. And I said, first, let me guess how old you are. I said, you're mid to late 20s. He's like, yeah. And I said, and English isn't your first language, is it? He said, no. He's like thinking I'm some psychic. I'm like, yeah, I can tell. But anyway, I know. I hope that's not sounding mean. I'm not trying to be mean, but I mean, it's true. we're all entitled to our, the things that turn us off and turn us on. And holy shit, some of this stuff, I just go, ugh, it's a big turn off. I consider myself, a smart, attractive female that has her shit together. And if you're not bringing your A game, I mean, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. That's a form of, what I call, oh boy, now I'm really going to let it fly. That's just a form of what I call dating down. I don't date down, I mean, and when I say that, it's like, there's different things I think that appeal to me about men in general. So sometimes there are things you can't put your finger on. I tend to like just who I like. And sometimes it's not who you would think I'd be matched up with, but I guess maybe like, you see two people that sort of have the same, they have the same, I guess, I don't know how to put it, like sexual appeal or whatever. And you think, okay, those people are a good match, or there's a good looking couple. I'm not, of course I'm attracted to, a good looking man. Absolutely. Who isn't? But also you might see me with someone where you go, oh, I wouldn't have thought you would be attracted to him. It's about the complete package for me. I've dated guys that initially I was just like, no way, you bug me. I don't, out of the gate, I'm like, I don't think I'm attracted. And then you get to know them and you're like, holy shit, this guy is so hot. And I love that. I love it. I already know that because I've had that happen enough. So I am totally open. It's not the look, that the looks in general that just get me to say yes or no. It's when I get to know somebody, because you can turn me on because you're hot. You're a hot package all the way around. And that's really, what I'm after. I don't know. Did I just get off on a way, run myself off in the ditch there with that? And I hope I didn't say some things that I'm going to regret. But again, I just don't know. I would love anybody explain this to me. If you feel like you have truly true, NSA relationships, and then tell me how you're accomplishing that, and tell me what that feels like and what that actually means. Does that mean you just fuck somebody once and then you're out of there? I could see that. I mean, if that's one night stand. So then why doesn't your profile just say, I just want to have one night stands. I just want to sport fuck. Why do you got to say, hey, you're not allowed to like me. I'm not going to like you. If that's what, be straight up about it. Write that down. But people don't have the balls sometimes to really express themselves. Or I'm in a relationship and I can't have any attachments because I'm lying to the person I'm with, and I can't have you getting all crazy about me. Say that. Isn't that the fucking truth? Just say it. Just say that. Or I'm totally, I'm devoid of any and all feelings. I just want to stick it in you, get off. And, I'll get you off and we're done. Okay. Great. I never get upset with people when they're just brutally on, when they're just being their most honest. That's fucking awesome. Great. But, all these creepy little code words and wrangling around, how we're going to cover up, how I'm going to, cover up what I'm really looking for by throwing some generic term out there. Lately it's bugging me. I don't know why, but it is. So there you have it. If you are an NSAer and you want to explain it to me, I am all ears. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye. Thanks so much for listening. And if you like what you hear, refer me to a friend. And make sure you're following me on social media. Also, go to the website, thecuriouscirldiaries.com, and join my subscribers only list for access to exclusive content. And as usual, questions or comments, you can always email me at curiousgirl@thecuriouscirldiaries.com.